Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. Bear with me. This will change in a bit, the screen. But now I got another paid request, this time from Jack Thompson. Interesting idea to... He gave me a few links to old news in the past couple of years of movies that were supposed to be done or shows that were supposed to be done but never came to be. And he said I didn't have to do all of them, but I'll do most of them. I'll got about 7 of them up. And if you wonder, yeah, these little things here, this is something I want to watch sometime. This is stuff to help download. This is the Meg. This is for requests I have, which if you're watching Splitson, there's another one. It'll take a while because it's a bit of a lengthy one, but I will do it when I can. But let's get into it. If people want to request pretty much any type of video or topic, randomness, out of the blueness, reaction, re-review, commentary, again, news, whatever, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Alright, let's get to it. So first off, we have... In 2013, CBS shot a Beverly Hills Cop TV show pilot featuring Eddie Murphy. The pilot was never picked up. Let's see. Okay, this is pretty much typical stuff that they say here, where the popularity of the Beverly Hills Cop. It was an issue stemming from Eddie Murphy himself. Yeah, I did hear about this. I mean, well, I'll confirm it here. See, when was this? This was 2021, September. And it says here, Netflix produced Beverly Hills Cop 4 is almost ready to begin filming after use... What the fuck kind of spelling is this? Can you see this? Right here. A Netflix-produced Beverly Hills Cop 4 is almost ready to begin filming after uses spent in development hell. Look at this. What the fuck is this? Okay, again, this bit here. Get away. This bit here. Netflix produced Beverly Hills Cop 4 is almost ready to begin filming after uses spent. Uses spent in development hell? Uses? Do you mean years? I don't know how you get years and uses. That's not the same thing. I mean, hello, Daniel, Demana, Daniel-san, what are you doing? Daniel-san. What the fuck is this? Beverly Hills Cop 4 is almost ready to begin filming after uses spent in development hell. Uses. Okay. Actually, maybe I'll stick it there. That way you guys can read it better. Uses. Sorry, I just... Yeah. Begin filming after uses spent development hell. What the fuck? CBS attempted to bring the franchise back through TV. The series was planned to function like a reboot, but still be a sequel to the first 3 movies. CBS ultimately decided to abandon the series after Eddie Murphy made it clear he was not willing to appear as Axel in further episodes. Let's see. Much of the plot for the proposed Beverly Hills Cop show was set to follow Axel Foley's son, played by Brandon T. Jackson. Eddie Murphy himself appeared in the pilot episode as Axel, but while the network wanted him to make semi-regular appearances in future episodes, this detail was what killed any potential for the series to be greenlit. Eddie Murphy says, "We did it. We shot his pilot for a TV show. The reason that didn't get picked up was because the studio thought I was going to be in the show, because the lead was my son, and you're going to pop in every now and then. I was like, I'm popping in shit. Well, we ain't making this TV show. Wouldn't you think this detail would have been set before you even started making the fucking show? Wouldn't you think this detail would be worked out before you spent any dimes, quarters, and pennies? Eddie says the pilot was really good. It tested where they have these knobs that you turn if you liked it, and whenever I came on the screen, Foley would come on the screen. They turned it so they literally broke the knobs on the thing. Well, of course, because it's fucking Foley. Despite how shitty Beverly Hills Cop 3 is, people still like Foley. We didn't need a Beverly Hills Cop TV show. A Beverly Hills Cop TV show was still fucking pointless to begin with. And yeah, people would be asking, oh, is Eddie Murphy going to come back? Can we see Eddie Murphy again? And again, this is a detail you should have worked out before you did a dime on it. That is something that always intrigues me, though. The humongous amount of pilot episodes that have never seen the light of day. That fascinates me. And it makes me wonder, is this stuff in a vault somewhere? Is it just deleted? And why not do something where here's all these pilots you could watch? Whether you're on YouTube, why not? You could just put it out there, but I guess their thinking is whatever money you make, you'd have to send it to the people involved with the show, and then that's a lot of headache and a lot of deals you have to do to something that is just this one-time thing. So maybe that's why. Because if it gets released, then they'd have to pay all the people involved with it, and they'd be like, well, wait a minute, you're making money off this, and I'm not getting any, so that's why. But it's still, there's such a waste that, whether good or bad, I would watch it, and then I'd probably shit on it, because it probably sucks, but I'd watch it out of curiosity. But yeah, you didn't need a Beverly Hills Cop TV show. And that's kind of why it's hard to talk about the movie news. Because so many times the movie news you'll talk about and then it never ends up happening. Case in point, Tom Cruise, Johnny Depp, or Keanu Reeves as Robocop. This is from 2011. This is before the reboot came out. This is talking about the reboot. MGM is rumored to be eyeing the likes of Tom Cruise, Johnny Depp, or Keanu Reeves for the role. Surprisingly, I could personally see two of these actors in the role. Johnny Depp is obviously the best choice on this list, as he can make us believe he's any character he takes control of. Do you think the Robocop reboot needs an A-list star behind the mask, or should Hollywood take the opportunity to develop a new star, much like Peter Weller did with the role? In my opinion, they should chase a new talented actor and name Brandon with the franchise. Well, that obviously didn't work. I mean, that would not have saved the film. Tom Cruise, I like Tom Cruise. I think he would do a good job acting-wise, but it's just, you would still go, what's the point of this? Why not just watch the original Robocop? Johnny Depp, I like Johnny Depp, but I don't know. Keanu Reeves, no. I love Keanu Reeves, but no. The thing is, I would just, no matter who you pick, I'd be just thinking of Peter Weller. It's like Robert Englund, I think of as Freddy Krueger. Sylvester Stallone, I think of as Rocky or John Rambo. That's all I'm going to think about. And Tom Cruise, he could just do Edge of Tomorrow, which he did. Johnny Depp do his own thing. Keanu Reeves do John Wick, which he did years after this, and that became his thing. That's what I prefer more. So they would have been better. Honestly, all three of these would be better than Joel Kinnaman did a What Kinnaman. They would be better. I do believe that. But it would not have saved the film. I don't think so. Get away, Wired. I don't give a shit. Jamie Foxx to star in Tannen Lynch film. I never played the video game Tannen Lynch. Screenwriter Kyle Ward. I don't know what he's written. Done deal. Jamie Foxx is in. Remember they said Jamie Foxx is a done deal that he's Spawn? I remember that news. That Jamie Foxx is now Spawn. What happened to that? What happened to that movie? Not that I'm asking for another Spawn. Just the guy who created the character said, well, he's not going to be the star of the movie. You make it a Spawn film, but he's not the star of the film. Well, it's like some of the comics. Well, that may be true, but good luck getting people to want to see a Spawn film with barely any Spawn in it. Good luck. It's like watching a Batman movie with no Batman in it. I never played the Conan Lynch video game, so I have no dog in this fight, so to speak. Jamie Foxx has been cast as Lynch, the mentally unstable bank robber. Bruce Willis has already been tapped to take on the role of Kane. So it'd be Bruce Willis and Jamie Foxx. Well, I could tell you one thing. They would hate working with each other. I would just have a feel with that. Sorry about that edit. I guess the whole Conan Lynch thing, I was looking into it and I accidentally deleted all of the windows, all this stuff here. So instead of me trying to get each one again fair, I just cut it. But Conan Lynch, like I said, I haven't played the video game. So, I mean, Bruce Willis, Jamie Foxx, Bruce Willis, here's the thing. I don't really make fun of him much anymore when, from what I understand, he had a stroke, and then that's why he has a little bit of memory loss, and he's a bit off. If that's the case, it's sad. I mean, it doesn't excuse him being an asshole for decades. It does not excuse that, but, you know, if that's why he's making all these films, because either... I would just then wonder, why doesn't he just take a break? Or retire. Just retire. Take a break, man. I don't understand it. I don't understand, but I don't know. For those who have played Conan Lynch, you let me know if Bruce Willis and Jamie Foxx, if that would have been a good pairing or not. But again, I don't know much about the game. Never played it, so can't say much about it. But no, yet another film that didn't happen. Let's see, Relativity reboots Jean-Claude Van Damme's Bloodsport. I do remember hearing this back in 2013. I probably talked about this back in 2013. Yeah, again, another film that didn't happen. Apparently, V for Vendetta's director James McTeague was going to direct. Relativity's producing with Edward R. Pressman, Chris Brown, Alberto Lenzi. 21st century mercenaries as they collide with the underground world of Brazilian Vale Tudo fighting. From the writer Robert Mark Kamen, who wrote Taken. I think Robert Mark Kamen helped write some of the Karate Kid films. Story developed by Philip Noyce. Yeah, because I remember hearing, I thought Philip Noyce was directing the film. Philip Noyce, who had done, I think, like some Jack Ryan films and such, but I guess it was going to be directed by V for Vendetta director. Oh, he also did Ninja Assassin? I forgot he did that. Probably something about the people involved. It doesn't really give much detail other than just people in the company are going to make it. Yeah, we didn't need it. I'm glad it didn't happen. I'm sure one day it will again. That they'll try it out. But they did the Kickboxer reboot. Who the fuck remembers? And they had 2 movies. Kickboxer Vengeance and Kickboxer... I forget what the other one was called. Exactly. No one remembers those fucking movies. No one talks about those fucking movies. No one says, oh, those are my favorite martial arts films ever. Kickboxer Vengeance and Kickboxer... whatever the hell. No one says that. No one's ever said that. No one will say that. No one talks about it. It wasn't a big hit. Didn't really even go into theaters. Pretty much went dumped straight to video anyway. So what's the point? And even this obviously didn't get made because it would not go to theaters. These type of films don't go into theaters. When was the last time you had a big martial arts tournament type of film in a theater? No, it would go straight to video and hopefully cash in on the name. And yeah, I just see why it didn't get made. I mean, Bloodsport doesn't even have a Blu-ray worth of shit. It was a Blu-ray that shares with Time Cop. I don't even think it has its separate Blu-ray release. And this is Bloodsport. And it shows, like, whoever owns Bloodsport's an idiot. You can make a full documentary, interviews with all the people involved. I bet Van Damme would talk about Bloodsport. I bet, what's the guy? Sheldon Lettich. Because he helped Van Damme some of the behind-the-scenes stuff and editing. And that's how, like, they first met, then they worked together more and more. And you talk about the history and the original cut, and you'd have a special edition of Bloodsport. But yeah, they announced it. Apparently, they had a director, they had a writer, they had a studio, and lo and behold, it didn't get made. That's why it's why I don't comment as much about movie news, because so much stuff ends up not getting made. Like this. All the time, the Arnold's going to do new Conan movie, going to do new Conan movie. And it never happened, thankfully. This is what, 5 years ago? Arnold's 70 at this point. Being shot to directors, it's really happening. Obviously it didn't. I'm sitting on the throne for years and years, decades, when all of a sudden they want to overthrow me. Supposed to enter production around March of last year, however, the deadline passed and almost everyone assumed the project had gone into turnaround. Not so, says Arnold and the film's producer Frederick Melberg. The producer confirmed that Chris Morgan, who worked on Fast and Furious films, has polished Andrea Berloff's original script and is now canvassing directors for the job. Interest is high. Many are fans of Conan, but we're not rushing. We have a great script, and now we need the right director for the job. Arnold says his age isn't a factor. I feel great. The last few movies that I've done many of my own stunts. I did all the physical stuff, and I didn't wipe me out. And I have plenty of energy and feel really terrific. I'm absolutely convinced I can do the Conan movie and do the horseback riding, the sword fights, and all the other fighting. 2011 reboot with Game of Thrones actor Jason Momoa was effectively box office bomb, only recouped half of his budget. Since then, Conan has been largely dormant. It's not going to happen. This is never going to happen. And you know what? I'm fine with it. Because I did not need to see a 70 or now a 75-year-old Conan. I'm sorry, Arnold. It's too old. It's too late. Maybe if you wanted to try instead of going to be a fucking governor, maybe you could have tried then. But being the governor of California, that was the worst decision you ever made. Because it made people pick at you. It made people, shake your head at you. And that was years and years lost to something that now people think of as a joke. That didn't really accomplish anything positive, only negative. And it hurt your career. Because you came back and now your films are dead in the water. Whether it be The Last Stand, which I actually liked. I rather liked The Last Stand. But that was still dead in the water. Escape Plan. It made some money overseas. That somehow got some direct-to-video sequels. This overseas market. But in the US market, you're pretty dead. Maddie, direct-to-video. Sabotage did nothing. Terminator Dark Fate even did nothing. That's your big fucking franchise. That was a huge flop. Genesis was a flop. If this was made, this would have been a flop. Idea a 75-year-old Conan, it'd just be people going, come on, man. The glory days are past. I love you, Arnold. I love your movies. I love Predator. I love The Running Man. I love Commando. But it's too little, too fucking late. Same with twins. Triplets. It's going to be me, Dan DeVito, and Eddie Murphy. Now it's going to be me, Dan DeVito, and Tracy Morgan. No, it's not going to happen. Why do we want to see 75-year-old triplets? Like, come on. Like, it's done. It's over. It is what it is. You know what? Do a full documentary on your career where you go through each of your films. Do that. It's like, I'm going to talk about my movies. I'm going to talk about Predator. I'm going to talk about Commando. There's Total Commando 2. This is what it's going to be. This is why I didn't do it. You can talk about the movies that never came to be, like Crusade. There you go. Part of the documentary to you and Paul Verhoeven talking about Crusade. There's this movie called Crusade I want to do. It did not happen. This is why. Like, just that I would be more curious about. Do a full documentary. Doesn't have to be just 90 minutes long. It could be in parts. It could be 2-part, could be a 3-part documentary. That would be more worth the money and time than a new Terminator or a new Conan film. That's just my take on it. But the last one I'll talk about, which he sent, is, of course, Hunter. In May 2020, I said this was not going to happen. I had people fucking tell me I was dumb. Well, no. I had one guy say it was dumb. Others were nice about it, to be fair. Others were nice about it. They were nice about it. But I had some people going, Matt, you're a bit wrong about this. And I'm like, it never happened. I told you it wasn't going to happen. Hunter. A project that one time was set to be turned to a Rambo sequel, Sylvester Stallone reveals that Hunter is finally moving forward. In the midst of Stallone's latest Lockdown Q&A, he dropped more than just the news of Demolition Man 2, which is not going to happen. A little further into the post, you can find the bottom of the story. He also dropped news that Hunter is finally happening. He's been toying it with a decade. The story follows a man whose tracking skills are required to track down a creature that's half human. For a while, Stallone toyed with turning this to a Rambo sequel before turning his attention elsewhere in that department. If that was a Rambo sequel, I actually would be curious about it. I would say go for it. And that's a project I always wanted to see him do because I never saw Stallone got to do his version of Predator. Or his version of like an actual horror flick. That'd be cool to see. But it's never going to happen. Sorry for the throat clearing. But think about it. We now have had... This is 2020. 2021 is almost done. 2022, you don't have his superhero movie. That's going to come out. He's going to try maybe to do another Rambo film or his Rocky director's cut, Rocky 4 director's cut. Expendables 4. That's what he's doing. See? He's not doing Hunter. If Stallone really wanted to do this, he could do this. If you're able to get a Escape Plan 2 and a Escape Plan 3 and Expendables 4, someone would say, okay, let's finally do Hunter. But no. Because that film's a sequel, and I'm going to do the superhero movie because superhero movies are a thing now. A big thing. So, what, Escape Plan did well in overseas? Okay, I'll do these direct-to-video sequels because they'll be a hit overseas. It's like he's running out of money. That's what it feels like. It feels like he's running out of money. That he's stealing stuff. Stealing. He's not stealing. He's selling stuff. He was selling stuff and... I don't know what the deal is with it. again, I like Stallone. I wear a fucking Rambo cap in every video. But it's too late. And this could have been done years and years ago. Years and years and years ago. Instead of Bullet in the Head, let's do Hunter. Instead of Escape Plan, let's do Hunter. Fuck, that could have been you and Arnold and Hunter. You two team up to hunt this creature down. Or I'm sure there's other characters. Arnold. I mean, there's a number of stuff that could have been done. It's too late, and it's never going to happen now. I knew this was not going to be the case in 2020. I had some people doubt me. And I'm like, it's not going to happen, dude. This guy, I mean, Stallone. Remember when Stallone announced the gangster movie he was going to do? He was going to play this gangster. That never happened. Poe, a film he wanted to do forever. That's never going to happen. Isobar, never going to happen. Hunter, never going to happen. I mean, maybe he'll want to do another Rocky film to melt that franchise along, or another Rambo film, which I don't want to see. Which I hate saying that now, that I don't want to see a Rambo film. But after Rambo 5 being a lame, limp dick of a sequel, I'm sorry, a couple minutes at the end of some fun gore, CG gore, but, you know, Rambo 4 had CG gore, to be fair. Couple fun, that doesn't excuse the rest of the movie being a lame, boring, limp dick, limp-wristed piece of shit. Cheap direct-to-video movie. So, I love you, Sly. It's over. You may say nothing is over, but it's over. And reality's knocking on the door. Hunter is never going to be made. Even if it gets made, what? Stallone can't do much as a, what, 70, was it 75, 77? If that ever, let's say somehow it ever did. What, he's 77, 78 years old by the time it gets made? That's different than if he was able to do this when he was 50. Or if he was 40. It'd be a different, better movie. Just one of those missed opportunities that he had opportunities, and this is why I got mad at films like Bullet in the Head and Escape Plan. And be like, well, why are you so mad about this? And why are you so mad about that? Because these pieces of fucking trash, waste of space got in the way that he could have been doing a Hunter or an Isobar or in these other fucking movies that would have been more interesting, possibilities of being more interesting or more badass or more fun or more entertaining. And that's gone now. The opportunity's gone. It's wasted on bullshit like Bat Trace and Escape Plan Trilogy and Expendables 3 and all this shit. And that's why I got so mad. And people are like, well, why you get so mad? I get so mad because it's time wasted on bullshit movies. When A, I know he can do better, and B, these other better possibilities, like Fatalis, look up that. Fatalis. About saber-toothed tigers in the city. If you have a decent enough budget with it, or Hunter, or Isobar, any number of stuff that could have been done better. Or something like his version of Drive with Ryan Gosling. Or his version of Mandy. Remember Mandy with Nicolas Cage? Now, I love Mandy. Can you imagine if Sylvester Stallone starred in that? Do you imagine if Stallone starred in Mandy? But no. It was, let me do fucking Creed, crap, crud. Let me do Rambo 5. Taken, but in Mexico. And not even as good as the first Taken, Sally. Waste of fucking time, space, and resources. And it's wasted, and all that time gone. 10 years or so gone. And that's why I get mad. And that's why I get angry. But that's just me. But with that said, thanks once again, Jack Thompson. He said I didn't have to do all of them, but I did do most of them, which I did. Thank you guys. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.